Hello friends I made this for. My name is Lauren Schwind. I am a Reiki practitioner, an artist, tarot reader, and a astrologer type person for fun. Today I have the intention to share with you a little bit of my knowledge about the energies coming up in the full moon again, but through a little bit of a different duality-ish. So last time, when I was speaking to you, we talked about these two cards and how they represent what's going on as far as energies with the full moon. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot that I'm referencing right here. These are the cards. Boop, boop, boop. Virgo energy in the Hermit, Pisces energy in the Moon. Also, I'm coming to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in my studio in front of my lovely altar where I have burning incense. My house isn't burning down, I promise. Last time we kind of just discussed the dualities going into these energies and reflecting on these cards in the tarot, not necessarily this deck, but these cards from the tarot as ways of connecting with that energy. Of course, it is, as I said before in my last video, Virgo season. This is the Virgo constellation. Also, this deck that I'm using right here is this one, the Living Wheel. Definitely recommend it if you're connecting with astrology and getting to know it. But we are in Virgo season. Of course, every time a full moon comes up, we get the beautiful opposite, that balance. And the balance for Virgo is Pisces. This one. So we talked about that element of duality, but there are some other cards we can connect with if we're trying to do something called embodying. So embodying is kind of a phrase I think that gets thrown around like we're trying to embody this or that. And in tarot, there's a lot we can embody because there's literally 78 cards. So which cards connect with what is what we want to talk about today. We kind of went into the Hermit and the Moon. That's really cool. But the Court cards kind of really allow us to literally embody because they're people, direct people. One thing I want to mention before we get into the Court cards is there are kings and queens and things like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a strictly feminine or a strictly masculine card. What we're looking at are the energies around it. So if we're talking about kings, that's not necessarily masculine, but it's about mastering. Pages is not necessarily about just little boy energy. It's not that at all. It's about being a student. So there are ways of looking at the cards without making it strictly this or that, and more of a good spectrum of energies in which we're trying to integrate. So what are the energies coming up? Well, what's funny about Virgo and Pisces is they both are embodied by queen cards. Queen cards in the suit, different suits. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot, Queen of Pentacles. I also wanted to share another Queen of Pentacles to just give you some idea of like variety. This is the Queen of Pentacles for the Line Strider Tarot, Morgan Greer Tarot. So both of these energies, what are we working with here? These are very Virgo energies. But in general, Virgo is a mutable earth. So we're looking at this mutable energy through the Queen cards. This isn't necessarily feminine energy, as I said, but there are some themes that come up that can be seen as more feminine. So to kind of simplify, we see them embodied in a female. Anytime we see a Queen card, there's a lot of themes around nurturing, which is, of course, through the patriarchy expressed as a feminine thing, but it's definitely not. So a theme for this card is nurturing. prosperity is another good one for Queen. So Virgo is an earth energy, so we have a pentacle Queen to work with here to kind of embody that energy. But what is Pisces? Pisces is a water energy, so of course we're going to have Pisces energy. And that is water, Queen of Cups. So how can we also translate these energies from Virgo, earth energy, to water, cup energy? Well, we can look at these as the physical realm and the emotional, intuitive realm. And that's really how they should be looked at. So if you're trying to work on an embodying practice and working with your tarot around this moon, there are certain themes that can be brought up, throughout Virgo season that can be brought up through this card, Pentacles. And there are themes around this full moon that are embodied in Cups. And how do we break these down? So one thing to keep in mind, let's make them face each other, yay. One way of looking at the Queen cards is, this is any sign mixed with water. This is intuitiveness, usually, a deepening on that understanding. But above all things, we're looking at a nurturing energy. Are we nurturing ourself, our body? Are we nurturing our intuition and our creativity? So that's the kind of duality that we're working with this water and earth energy. So specifically around the full moon, big full moon energy, we have the Queen, we have the more watery themes, if you will. So what I kind of boil down when we're talking about embodiment is, you can, one, meditate on this card, and you can put this card on your altar, whatever Queen of Cups looks like in your deck. In the Line Strider Tarot, she looks like this. And this is, very dreamy, very watery energy in the Line Strider Tarot. So you can put these on your altar around this time, things like that, to really focus in and hone in on that energy. There's also key words that kind of help us tap into, okay, what do we really want to get out of this energy? What are like some key words that can help us tap into this Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups energy? I made some notes because I'm a Virgo moon. Hi. So for Queen of Cups, I feel like what it can be boiled down to, if there's 3 words only allowed, which of course these are just rules that I've constructed. You don't need just 3 words. But 3 words to kind of tap into if you're trying to tap into the Pisces moon energy, which is happening exactly 1 week from now, are creativity, intuition, and spirituality. So specifically, what are we doing to nurture that part of ourselves, to deepen that part of ourselves? Because when we're looking at the Queen energy, we're looking at it through a kind of like phase. So within our court cards, we have pages, then knights, typically, queens, and kings. And on one end of the spectrum, we have pages, which represent a learning stage. That's when we're being asked to embody being a student. Whereas when we maybe pull a king card, we're being asked to embody the teacher. We are mastering this part of ourselves, this part of our life, sort of thing. So that's kind of the difference. But if page is to learn and the king represents to master, we can look at the queen cards, the queen part of the suit, as we're being asked to deepen our understanding and our knowledge and our nurturing of ourselves. So it would be really important to maybe go do a float, something like that around the full moon that's coming up, something that takes care of your spiritual self, your creative self. So maybe creating something, making some emotional art, allowing that to be part of your practice might be a really important time around this Pisces moon. On the other hand, it's still Virgo season, and that energy is, for those three words, I kind of put into, again, you don't have to just have three words for this, but productivity, home, and fertility. So very physical things. How are we taking care of the house and our physical selves? How are we taking care of the place where we feel comfortable, including our bodies? How are we making sure that everything is organized and neat so that we're really good at taking care of what we need to take care of? Because Virgo is of service, and so is Pisces. Pisces is about that collective service, as well as Virgo. Virgo is the physical service that we are here on this earth to do. How are we healing ourselves? How are we healing others? And doing what's best for the collective? Both those signs are really about that stuff. So those are some energies to kind of work into. Of course, no matter what your deck, you can pull out these cards and just kind of reflect on them as far as like, okay, I'm trying to bring in this full moon energy, this Virgo/Pisces energy. What do I need to really be doing to deepen my spiritual practice, to deepen my physical well-being, and making sure I'm on the path that is of service to myself as well as the world? Yeah, so I think that kind of covers everything with the Queen cards. I hope you have a lovely moon. I'll probably be making another video on the moon, and I love you so much. Bye. Thanks for watching.